Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig Dillers, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike P. Warski, coming to you live from the East Coast. It's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on The Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news, and Craig, are you driving a cab in the 1940s? What are you doing? What are you wearing?
No, I'm just kicking it.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
Throw punch Thursday, bitch.
Yeah, man. Interesting times. It's a bit of a rainy day out here today, so I was wearing my cap to keep the hair for the head from getting all wet.
But between the shirt, the hat, and the jacket, way too much olive drab, dude. You might as well be a communist. I mean, that's just way too much drab. So, no, too much. You wear if you're all khakis, it's just you're either in the army or you're in the people's army. So
I hear you, sir. I hear you. No, it's just the hat and the I don't know what you call it. It's a pullover to keep me warm. Put it that way.
pull over, sir. You're used to hearing that. Pull over. I need you to pull over.
No, usually I don't hear that. I just hear whoop whoop.
It's pull over. Yeah, it's a windbreaker, I think, right? Or what do they call them? A bullpen jacket.
Yes,
jacket.
there you go.
Or
There you
dugout
go. You got
jacket.
it. You
Yeah.
got it. But anyway, just trying to stay warm and dry here in the great state of California, because the mudslides are next.
I was just talking to somebody up in Wisconsin. It's like -5 where they are, and they're complaining. I'm like, that's like 40 degrees from your winter or from your summer temperature. What are you talking about? That's not that big of a deal. We're here in Florida, and it's in the 50s today, Craig. And it was in the 110s during the summer. That's a 60-degree difference. That's real. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
that's about the difference. That it's probably though we're probably in the 50s a lot more often than you are there in Florida.
yeah, this is our week of it. So and it's not even a week. It's like 3 days of it. So
Oh yeah, for us it'll be pretty much a good chunk of December, most of January and February, and then March we'll start to see it'll start to creep back into the 70s, 60s, and then May 70s, and then June back into the 90s, hundreds.
yeah, see, it's weird because I know you guys. When wildfire season starts, it's because you guys ignore the downed trees and everything there, and don't take care of your wildlife management, but forest management. But here in Florida, I mean, like when it hits the 60s, I mean, we're out in the woods grabbing every piece of thing of wood we can burn in our fireplaces. It's just we will clean the entire state of Florida of anything flammable during the 3 days it's 50 degrees.
Oh no, dude, our forest management is like a hippie chick grooming.
Oh, you got hairy leg trees. Oh.
It's all sort of shrubbery and roughage. It's all bad.
That's not the California girls that David Lee Roth was talking about.
No. More like the 60s California girls.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's all bad. And then we wonder why there are these fires. And the worst part is in some places, Mike, it's not only do they not do it, it's illegal to do it. Like there's an area here that's kind of governed by this group called TERPA. It's the Tahoe Regional Basis. It's a group of appointed people from California and Nevada, and it's like the mountain range, but it's up in the near Tahoe. And they won't allow you to clear you can only clear like cut shrubbery and stuff like that up to 10 feet to your house. Now, anybody who knows anything about fire management and maintenance knows you got to clear during fire season up to 100, up to at least 100 feet. That's like the minimum. But yeah, it's bad. And then they get these big, huge fires, burns everything down. Then I guess they're good for a few years until everything grows back.
This is the same state that won't allow you to stop or capture any water as it flows from the mountains and from the rains through the rivers into Southern California. And they have a water shortage every year for the last, 173 years, but they won't allow you to stop any water not before it's used somewhere else, Craig, but before it flows into the ocean and becomes unusable.
Well, because the ocean needs more water. Don't you know this? The oceans are growing. They need more water.
Not fresh water. It's unbelievable.
By the way,
want you to have more water,
those
too.
are
That
the
way
liberals'
when everything
arguments,
west of
not
the-
mine. Let me be clear. I am
We
all
want you to
for
have more water.
build
also
the damn
in the
dam.
ocean. We want you to have more water in the ocean also. That way, when the big one finally hits and everything west of San Andreas goes into the water, it's good water. It'll be a nice.
There you go.
beachfront
Well, I'm
property.
east of the San Andreas. Thank you. I'm probably going to have some shorefront property should that ever happen. Although, if the climatologists have their way, we could actually see that happen if the climatologists have their way.
Wait,
but
the climatologist
sadly,
that
I'm
also
pretty sure
talked
they're
about
wrong.
the climatologist that also talked about the ice age, the acid rain, the ozone disappearing, all that in the past 30 years was going to happen. Remember?
Yeah, pretty much. Those guys.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Got it.
remember. You remember them.
Yep. Those guys.
Anyway, sir, let's go ahead and let's get into the program. But, before we do, got to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Take it away, Mikey.
Yeah, let's say hi to Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Talk to the guys over there today, doing great. Make sure you check them out for their AR barrels, rifle or pistol caliber, any length you desire. Give them a call or look them up at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you could take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to Hog Holsters, HAWGholsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get a nice little discount. And if you're looking for field gear, outdoor gear, web gear, harness gear, camping gear, paintball gear, whatever kind of gear you need. I don't have basketball gear, so not every kind of gear. Every kind of tactical gear you could need. You can get everything except a gun at uscombatarms.com.
Oh, did they change their website?
Well, what'd I say?
You say U.S. Combat Arms. It's U.S. Combat Gear.
Oh, no, it's uscombatgear.com. uscombatgear.com.
There we go. Okay. Just checking, man. We want people to get to
Good
where they're
catch.
supposed to go. But guess what? You don't even really need to know the name of the website, because guess what? The links are in the description to this program. So you just click a link, go straight to their website, find everything you need. Go ahead and order it today. They have fast and inexpensive shipping. So get to their website. Get to all of their websites. Check them out today, and make sure you tell them it was the guys over at The Rundown that sent you. Also want to encourage you, if you're watching us live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, we are following your comments. So if you got something to say and it's interesting, we'll share your comments with our audience. So check it out today. Go ahead, comment, let us know what's up, what you're thinking. If you like what we're talking about, if you don't like what we're talking about, want us to talk about something else, probably won't, but we'll still give you a quick shout out. In any case, check it out today. All right, let's go ahead and get into today's news, and we're going to start with the great Biden giveaway. That's right. Joe Biden has issued around 1,500 commutations, and this is the report right here that's coming out of Fox News. Check it out. This is just some of the, well, I'll let you decide for yourself.
Fox News alert right now. President Biden granting the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. Brooke Singman joins us with this breaking news. Brooke.
Good morning, Brian. That's right. So the White House announcing this news overnight. President Biden commuting the sentence of roughly 1,500 people who were released from prison and placed on house arrest during the pandemic. He's also pardoning at least 39 more people, all of whom have been convicted of non-violent crimes. Now, the previous single-day record for clemency was held by Biden's old boss, former President Barack Obama. But today's action is 5 times larger than that. We had heard reports last week that the Biden administration was considering issuing preemptive pardons for a handful of people like Liz Cheney, Anthony Fauci, and Adam Schiff out of fear that the incoming Trump administration could target them. But it appears none of those.
So it basically works out to about 1,500 commutations and then another 39 pardons. Now, What's interesting about this, Mike, is that they talk about the fact that these are people that, number one, were in jail and they were let out because of COVID, right? So in other words, they committed crimes. They never finished their sentences. They were let out and they were on house arrest, and now their sentences have been commuted, meaning even on house arrest, they didn't serve all of their time. It also says that they were in jail for them, and the people who got pardons were non-violent crimes, right? But it does not say that they were non-violent criminals, meaning they may have committed criminal acts aside from the crime that they were in jail for. But it doesn't say necessarily that they are non-violent. Once again, only that they were convicted. In this particular case, they were in jail for non-violent crimes. Now, they announced it now, and we don't really have a lot of detailed information on who these folks are. But I'm more than willing to guarantee you, Mike, that as they go through the list, you're going to find people who have, number one, have violent pasts, violent records. And then number two, we're going to find, I feel very comfortable to say that probably, I'm not going to say 10%, let's just say 2%, 5% are going to recommit.
Oh, the rate of recidivism is much higher than that, Greg. It's like 80%. So you can be safe with your 10%. You'll be fine there. Listen, also when they say nonviolent crimes, I want you to remember a couple of things. Falsely purchasing a firearm is a nonviolent crime. Cocaine use and distribution is a nonviolent crime. Not registering as a foreign agent is a nonviolent crime. Did you see where I'm going with these, Craig? You're nonviolent crime. So when you hear nonviolent crime, don't think, oh, he got in trouble for spitting on the sidewalk. Okay, that's not the case.
Yeah, no, it most definitely is not the case. But I thought the idea of the preemptive, the discussion about the preemptive pardons, I thought was kind of interesting. In fact, Bill Clinton was on The View, and the idea of preemptive pardons was brought up, including a potential preemptive pardon for his wife, Hillary. And I will tell you, it's interesting to listen to the man continue to lie.
How are you sleeping now? What's going to happen now?
I'm sleeping better now because I did everything I could for the alternative.
That's true. Yeah.
But I also think it's important for everyone.
Okay, that's the wrong clip.
I'm glad he's getting sleep, but listen, I don't think Trump can go after Hillary Clinton. I mean, he's a great man, but he's not a god. I mean, come on.
Well, no,
only God could take down the devil.
But what was interesting was in the clip that he did, or the interview, he basically said that Trump's DOJ basically said that she had committed no crime because, she didn't send or receive any emails on the personal server, which kind of shows you how out of touch he is with technology, because no one said that she sent or received emails. They were stored on her server, which meant that she was using government devices, but everything was being routed and saved on a private server that other people, and now we know including China, had access to, that they could easily hack. And it was illegal for her to have those on that server. So yes,
just
she did commit a crime.
Those that are less knowledgeable about some of these, and it's something that I do as well, or I'm sure many of you do. If you have more than one email address, and most of us at this point have more than one email address, right? But you don't want to go 9 places to look up your emails. So you go to your phone or your BlackBerry at the time, and you put them all into your local, Outlook, right? So it doesn't matter if it's your Yahoo, your AOL, your Gmail account, they all come to the same Outlook account, and you can separate them there so you know which ones you're looking at, but they all come into Outlook. So you've assigned a server, assigned a place for them to go. The one I happen to choose is the online, Outlook server, right? She had their own server in the basement. Rather than these things go outside, and use somebody else's, she had her government emails all coming in to her phone and being stored on the private server in her basement. because she thought that, well, that's than anything else. No, it's not. It's open to the internet. It's open to, just as Craig said, it's open to hacking by anybody else. And I believe the Chinese have proven that it wasn't that hard to do. So she was storing them outside the permitted government servers. She was not supposed to be doing this, but she did the whole, I'm the king or I'm the queen. I can do what I want.
Exactly. She felt that she was above the law. Now, I'm not saying she intended for other people to have access to them, but she didn't understand enough to know that she was flaunting the law. And then on top of it, when she was caught, she had the emails. She deleted the emails. She deleted them, and she had the server wiped. Right?
Yeah. I mean, come on. That shows the. I mean, when you hide the crime, that shows acknowledgement that you knew you shouldn't have been doing it. So.
Well, exactly. And for some reason, liberals don't want to own that. But yes, she committed a crime. Comey, who was her pal, although I will say that I'm not going to say that him coming out and saying that she was under investigation didn't help Trump, but Trump was going to win anyway. That having been said, no, I'm sorry. Trust me, it was the alphabet agencies, which, by the way, were on her side, that let her off. Because, let's be honest, it's basically the same thing that Donald Trump was accused of, only with Donald Trump, it was the actual files. And he actually, though, had them locked away in a secure room, as opposed to on an unsecured server.
That's right. In his garage in the Corvette. No, wait, that wasn't him. Sorry.
That was not him. And it was next to the Corvette.
Next to the Corvette. Got it.
Where the guy who, had the gun charges and the cocaine and the whores, had access to it.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's also nonviolent. So,
that is also nonviolent.
The whores are nonviolent. Yeah. The prostitution charges are nonviolent.
Yes, sir, Bob. But guess what, Mike? The great giveaway has not ended. Mayorkas has announced a job giveaway. That's right, a job giveaway, but not just any old job giveaway. This is a job giveaway that is going to go to illegal immigrants, or as the mainstream media likes to call them, migrants. This is being reported by Breitbart. It says here, DHS Chief Alejandro Mayorkas announced job giveaway for migrants. In the final weeks of President Joe Biden's administration, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is announcing a jobs giveaway for newly arrived migrants with work permits. Those people who entered the country illegally, have been given probation and allowed to stay here and given work permits. Yeah, those guys. On Tuesday, Mayorkas announced a final rule from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services that will allow millions of migrants, many of whom have been released into the U.S. interior by the Biden administration, to keep their work permits for up to 540 days when they seek a renewal. Migrants previously could renew their work permits for 180 days. For years, the Democratic mayors had lobbied DHS to extend such automatic employment authorization for migrants. The rule will go into effect January 13th, 2025. Now, Mike, this goes back to, once again, and I think a lot of people keep pushing this idea that there's this thing, well, these folks are only doing jobs that Americans won't do. But when you look at it, only about 12% of them are doing jobs in, for example, areas like agriculture. And these are jobs that largely are underpaid, and they're very, very hard jobs, but they're largely underpaid. And they're jobs that, quite frankly, Americans would do. They're just not going to do them for the slave wages that migrants are willing to do it for. And then you add on top of that, though, you have folks who are in transportation, people who are in construction, individuals who are in all of these various different service areas and industries that are undercutting the wages of workers who live here, who were born here, who are legal citizens. They're destroying the market for these particular jobs. I'm just like, I'm frustrated because this is ridiculous. I don't know. I'm kind of flustered. So I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, you know why they can pay them less, Craig, or you know why they do pay them less? Because they can. Because nobody's enforcing anything against the employers. If anything, they find these workers, and they would used to round them up, take them back to the border, and get rid of them. But now it's just, oh well, they're just going to let them be here, and that allows them to be discriminated against, allows them to receive lesser pay. And I'm not talking like, oh, she's receiving a girl or woman receives 13% less than a man. I'm talking like, they're making 50 cents on the an hour kind of stuff, which is horrible here, but that's a huge wage compared to where they're from back home. So they're willing to do it because they can make more here. It's the one thing, Craig, this story didn't say, it says this policy goes into effect January 13th, 2025. What they didn't say was this policy will be revoked on January 20th, 2025.
Right. Well, I sometimes think the way in which they're doing these policies and putting these things in place, they're hoping that it'll just take him a long time to get these things going. They're also believing, I think, that it's going to be taken to court, and it's going to take a while to get this thing through the courts in order to throw it out, just like it did DACA. Once again, they're looking forward to lawfare. They're looking forward to try and do anything they can to keep the Trump administration busy undoing the stuff that they've done.
And again, he's got now the team and the plan for this, by the way. When this happens, when he says, okay, well, on the 20th of January, we're revoking this, and they go, well, you can't do this, we're going to court. And they say they find that liberal judge out in Hawaii that was a roommate with Obama, and he says, okay, yeah, you can't do that. Well, then Trump gets to go, oh, okay, fine. Well, we're not sending your federal funding anymore. You're not getting it. Oh, you don't like that? Take us to court. Oh, wait, we initiated it, so you can't get a stay. So we'll play lawfare as long as you want to, but we'll play it with money.
Well, exactly. And in the meantime, you get no money. You get no money.
You got the ice cream. It got the poop on it.
'Cause you on the welfare.
And you pull.
Good stuff. All right. Interesting news. And I'm just going to put it this way. This is bad news, but good news. This has to do with the Supreme Court. SCOTUS has opted not to take a case out of Hawaii dealing with their gun regulations. I actually kind of liked the way that I thought it was interesting the way that the USA Today put it. Supreme Court rejects case pitting the spirit of aloha against gun owners' rights. It says here, Christopher Wilson had a loaded pistol in his waistband when the Maui Police Department in 2017 responded to a complaint that he was trespassing on private property. Wilson did not, though, have a permit to carry a gun. And in a case that put a spotlight on Hawaii's strict gun regulations, as well as on its low rate of gun deaths, his challenge to the permit requirement made its way to the Supreme Court, which in recent years has embraced looser approach to guns. The Supreme Court on Monday declined to overturn a ruling in that case by Hawaii's top court. The Hawaii court had touted the state's spirit of aloha that it said was in contrast to the justice's more gun-friendly record. Quote, the spirit of aloha clashes with the federally mandated lifestyle that lets citizens walk around with deadly weapons during day-to-day activities, end quote. Hawaii Supreme Court Justice Todd Edens wrote, defending the state's long history of regulating deadly weapons. Wilson had been challenging the state's requirement that he needs permission to carry a gun in public. The Supreme Court denied his appeal. Now, Mike, the reason why they denied his appeal is not because they believe that the state should have restrictions on who can own and possess, who has the right to carry a firearm or possess a firearm outside of their home, but simply that the law was in place and the way in which he was basically being convicted, they just said they didn't really have jurisdiction. Now, in other words, there's a difference between whether or not he was in violation of their law, not necessarily in opposition to the Constitution, but that doesn't mean that they can't challenge that. They're in the wrong place to challenge that law. And I believe that there are other cases that are coming up to the Supreme Court that do deal with states that have some of these strict laws relating to the ability to carry or possess a firearm outside of their home that I think the Supreme Court will eventually take up and address.
So let's be clear. This wasn't the Supreme Court, and this is how the USA told it. This was not the Supreme Court denying to hear this case. This was a case that was sent back down for work to be done. First off, Mr. Wilson, they make it sound like, Craig, he's carrying a ghost gun on somebody's a quarter-acre piece of property where they have a house, and he was trespassing with the gun. This guy was out hiking in the wilderness, Craig. Imagine being on the side of a mountain and hiking, and you're in the middle of nowhere, and you keep walking, and all of a sudden you find out someone owns this piece of property you've crossed into. No line, no fence, no nothing. Same wilderness. That was 10 feet ago. He got caught there out hiking with the firearm, which is legal on the other side of that property line because it's public property there, not private property. So they got him on this odd technicality of a place that wasn't marked, wasn't identified. He had no way to know he was on private property at the time, unless he was carrying a GPS and a plat map. He wouldn't have known, unless he's a guy that goes out and does that kind of work. He wouldn't have known. So it got sent back down, Craig, because there was improper procedure in the lower courts, and the Supreme Court said, I believe it was Kavanaugh and Thomas said, "Man, we'd love to hear this case, but there's not enough here yet. You need to go back down, fix these issues here, and then those that filed the case in appeal need to readdress those problems, then send it back to us." And they encouraged it to be sent back with the correction. So this is not we deny Hawaii's in. This was, hey, you screwed up. Go fix your paperwork. Send it back.
Exactly. And by the way, that happens quite often. I mean, the decision that the Supreme Court let stand that initially legalized same-sex marriage was the same exact thing. It was literally they just didn't take up the case for some technical reason. And that's what they're doing here. Is they're saying there's a technical reason why we're not going to hear this case. We're going to send it back, and y'all figure it out before you send it back up to us.
Yes. In the meantime, it's still, for Mr. Wilson, considered in appeals. As long as that attorney says, I am going to refile this, it's still in appeals in a certain time period to get that Supreme Court.
There you go. So anyway, it'll be interesting, but I guarantee you that eventually it will be deemed that there is a right to own or possess a firearm. We now know there's a right to own or possess a firearm outside of your home. Now, to the degree that it can be regulated is going to be the next thing, because you have places like Hawaii or places like California and New York who've passed draconian laws that literally make it so that, yes, you can possess a firearm outside of your home anywhere except everywhere.
Yeah. It's amazing. They also said in here that the Aloha State and the spirit of Aloha means the banning of dangerous weapons throughout history. I guess they haven't taken a look at the statue of King Kamehameha holding the spear and wearing the blade on his belt. I guess they haven't seen that.
They haven't. Yeah. But then again, the Constitution would tell the spirit of Aloha to go jump in a lake.
That's right. Here's the spirit of George Washington, where we come across the river and shoot you on Christmas.
There you go. Exactly. All right, moving right along.
The Delaware River. Yeah.
It's no mystery that MSNBC is in a free fall, but what's been really nice to see is, first of all, MSNBC they've had low ratings ever since the end of the first Trump presidency. Their ratings just have totally been in the toilet. Well, now it's gotten even worse, and they right now are in the midst of a full-blown free fall. This story here out of the Daily Mail. MSNBC ratings in a free fall as network's $25 million a year star is deserted by 43% of viewers. MSNBC star Rachel Maddow's viewership has plummeted since Donald Trump won the presidential election, tanking the liberal network's overall ratings. Maddow, MSNBC's highest paid anchor, has lost a staggering 43% of her audience since Election Day. On average, only about 1.4 million people tune into her show each week, compared to the 2.4 million that did earlier this year. The 51-year-old saw a dramatic drop in viewers aged 25 to 54, losing 56% of that audience since the election. Fox News reported. Now, here's the interesting thing, and I think that Joe Rogan has a really good understanding as to why exactly that's happening.
Things that, unfortunately for them, mass media or corporate media has done is they've diminished their credibility so much so that, like, Joy Reid was on TV today talking about saying that Trump was going to shoot protesters and just wild, unsubstantiated, crazy shit.
Yeah.
And the more they do stuff like that, the more that they say things like that, the more it diminishes their impact, and the more it drives people to independent media sources.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the ratings collapse that they've been. They're down to like MSNBC's down to like 50,000 people in the 18 to 49 demo.
That is so wild.
Which is tiny, right?
It's so crazy.
It's really tiny. So I think that's happening. The Gallup organization has done polls on trust in institutions, including media, for the last 60 years. It's been a steady slide down, and in the last 4 years, it's fallen off a cliff. I think it's real. Oh, there's another study that came out. The kids are now watching a lot less TV. Kids are just giving up on TV.
Yeah,
right. It's an issue of trust, Mike. Is really what it comes down to, and they just don't trust the mainstream media in general. And MSNBC has been the leader in gaslighting, ever since the beginning of their existence.
Let's be clear. Listen, when MSNBC started, Craig, I actually liked them because they were the in the middle neutral ones, and that took about 2 years for them to realize they weren't getting what they needed during the George W. Bush administration. Let's be clear on how horribly they're doing, Craig. How bad MSNBC is doing with their viewership and their ratings. Craig, you and I here on the Rundown have more viewers than they do. Let that sink in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. that quite frankly doesn't surprise me. But
they're down to
again,
a 50,000 people rating. That's a 0.05 rating, by the way, for them. We're crushing.
But first of all, it's not just the fact that they're gaslighting and lying, but it's that they are lies that a simple Google search, 2 minutes, can reveal to be lies.
Yes.
It doesn't take much to undo the crap that they're lying about. Doesn't take much at all. And once again, people understand that. And when you have these very same people saying, well, the economy is great, there's no crime in the streets, there's nothing going on at our southern border, Joe Biden is fine, Kamala Harris is the best thing since sliced bread, she's the female Barack Obama. I mean, I think that was the one the straw I think that broke the camel's back. People were just done.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And I got to say something, Craig, as a guy with and I know you can look at my name there and doubt me, but as a guy who's a majority Italian young man, not so great with the sliced bread. I like a loaf. Again, let me do what I want with it. Don't be dictating how I deal my bread,
Well, sliced bread makes an easier sandwich. Unless you try to make one out of the whole loaf. Then
that's what I'm saying. You go to your sandwich shop, you get a nice sandwich. Do they give it to you on sliced bread? No, you get a loaf. There's times for it though, but that's why I have a knife. Then I can cut a couple slices and make me a PBJ.
I will tell you every time we talk and I hear your New York accent in there, I think the guy at the sandwich shop.
that guy. How you doing?
How you doing? You want a sandwich? What do you want? What do you want? You want some salami? Get some cheese. You want cheese on it?
If you
we don't put no friggin' vegetables on a sandwich. What's wrong with you?
Vegetables. Well, we got roasted peppers. That's what you get.
There you go.
If you want a vegetable, I could put some turkey on there, I guess, you know.
Vegetable turkey. That reminds me of a scene from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. The guy's like, he's like, yeah, no, I can't eat that. I'm a vegetarian. She said, oh, you're a vegetarian. No problem. We'll give you lamb.
Give you that's it. Yeah, they eat the vegetables. Yeah.
They eat the vegetables. I'm sorry. Please don't give me my food's food.
Yeah, that's right.
My food's got to eat too.
That's it. Yep.
All right, folks. So that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. All right, we're going to do one. This is going to be a list. You know, I know you guys love the list over at the Babylon Bee. And this one is actually quite appropriate for both Mike and I. So it is in essence, okay, why is it not moving? There we go. Are you old? Know the signs. The worst part is I recognize a number of these. Number one, you saw this article scrolling Facebook. Okay, I did not find it on Facebook. So,
yep.
Whew, okay. Number two, you have something in your wallet called cash. Yeah, no, I'm a married man. My wife does not allow me to keep cash in my wallet. So okay, I'm doing okay.
I have cash, Craig, but I don't have a wallet. I've just got like all my ID cards, some cash, and like one of them broccoli rubber bands around it. I got one of those going on.
There you go. Okay, exactly. Okay, that's how you get around that one. So technically, you do not qualify yet as old.
Yes, correct.
You take a minute to plan your approach before picking something up off the floor. Now, okay, this kind of resembles me, but I don't take a minute. It's more like a 30 seconds to decide whether or not I actually need that thing that I dropped on the floor.
Yeah, that's both of us. That means we're past that stage. So don't qualify for that one either. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're not old. We're just older when it comes to that one.
Yes, older. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You whisper secrets so Alexa doesn't hear you.
We don't have Alexa in my house.
Neither do we. So we're good. Okay. Yep. You experience the sudden urge to put on a Steely Dan CD. No.
So I don't have an urge to put it on, but if it comes on, I'm staying and listening.
But here's the question. Do you have it on CD?
Oh, well, yeah, I got a whole CD wall. I'm not getting rid of those.
Okay. You know? All right. We're in a danger zone here. All right.
But again, I don't have the urge to put it on. I just, if it comes on, I'll listen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You have car glasses, reading glasses, work glasses, TV glasses, and regular glasses.
You forgot shooting glasses, but yeah, I guess I would say yes. Yeah.
Okay. This I'm dangerously close to this one. My reading glasses and my work glasses are the same. My car glasses and my TV glasses are the same. And those are in fact, my regular glasses. So who knows? But I do have glasses all around the house. Just in case I'm not wearing my regular spectacles.
It's the only way to do it.
Your orthopedist named his boat after you.
I don't have an orthopedist.
I do.
I don't go to doctors. I'm not a big doctor.
I do. Shoulder and knee is about all he's had to do for me. You just checked the clock to see when you can take ibuprofen again.
Okay, so being a veteran, first off, I don't take ibuprofen because it would destroy my liver at the rate I take it. But there's no clock involved. Here's how I do it: take 4, leave. Okay, 15 minutes later, does it still hurt? Take 4 more. Does it still hurt? No, I could stop taking it. You take it until it stops hurting.
You take it until it stops hurting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know that necessarily qualifies. You tape little pieces of paper over your computer's camera so hackers won't see you.
No, only because my camera has a flap that I can fold over on it. I don't have to put the paper there anymore.
There you go. Okay. You think the Babylon Bee headlines are real news?
It is real news. It's real fake news you can count on.
It is fake news that you can count on. But dude, I got to tell you,
Yeah.
Reality is not much weirder than the fake news at the Babylon Bee.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
You sign all of your texts. Love, Dad.
So all my texts to my daughter, they don't say love, Dad at the end, but I do sign them Raymond Holt.
What was that again?
I sign them Raymond Holt.
Raymond Holt.
Yeah, that's what Andre Braugher did on Brooklyn Nine-Nine when he signed all his texts. Raymond
got
Holt.
it.
Raymond Holt, yeah.
All right. Let's see. You're on an Alaskan cruise.
You skipped one.
Yeah. You were born in the 1930s.
No.
You got elected to Congress. See, that's why I did not get elected to Congress. If I had been elected to if I were old, I would have won my campaign for Congress. There you go. That's the reason.
There you go. You forgot 12. You forgot 12, by the way.
Oh, 12. Oh, that's just your tinnitus flaring up again.
You know, if my tinnitus, it's not flaring up. It's just like always there. It's like there and then really there. If I didn't have that, that would be horrible. Like they talk about, man, you could put these people in a soundproof room and within inside of an hour, they're going insane. Like, why don't they just sing along to their tinnitus? I mean, that's just, it keeps me company at night. I mean, it's my constant companion.
I do not have an issue with tinnitus, thank the Lord, but I imagine if I had gotten used to it, when you get older, you do get used to chronic things like, you just get used to the idea. I mean, if you wake up in the morning and nothing hurts, you think, am I dead?
Probably dead. You're probably dead. You're probably dead. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I panic if the tinnitus is not there. I mean, that's very rare. Very rare.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
so
I'm like, oh
I
my God,
think we've clarified, Mike. We're not officially old timers.
No, we're either before or after those stages. We're nowhere in those stages.
There you go. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
We're worn out. How about that?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
All right, folks. Well, that brings us to the end of our program. But before we go, we got one more thing to do, and that's give one more quick shout out to our sponsors.
Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Get on over there. Get yourself some AR barrels, any rifle caliber, any pistol caliber, any length you desire for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR platform. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. And if you want the best in tactical gear, it's military, law enforcement, fire, EMS. Available for all of you there at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Once again, please take a moment, visit our sponsors by following the links in the description of this program. Spend some money with them and tell them that the guys over at The Rundown sent you. That's going to be it for today's program. We will be back tomorrow on Free Friday. Looking forward to talking with you then. Till then, y'all have fun, stay safe, and if you get a chance, remember to send a few downrange. Till tomorrow, see you then.